In his 1000 game appearance as a coach, the legend Pep Guardiola refused until he wins with a style against one of the biggest clubs in the world, Liverpool. In this game, Pep Guardiola implemented his new philosophy by counting on mid-block, low block, and a quick transition attack to create danger and surprise the opponent. In this video, we will discover and dive more on Pep Guardiola's new philosophy and strategy to win. Let's go! City core attacking plan revolved around isolating Doku. Isolating Doku one-on-one against Bradley. We saw that Pep Guardiola really focused on this aspect, as well as he got help by O'Riley, and the left flank caused Manchester City to get a penalty, as well as Haaland opener goal. Doku was able to score the second goal from the same left flank. The second weapon that Pep Guardiola loves to use in his new philosophy is quick rapid transitions. We saw him in this game. He tried to implement it numerous times, especially when Liverpool's press fails and they leave open channels behind. So he tries to utilize these open channels. As we could see in minute 6, he was able to get to the goal with 4 touches. We see that when Pep Guardiola tries to implement quick transitions, he tried to transition with at least 4 players. So we would see that O'Riley tries to speed up and help up Doku. Although Doku didn't pass it to O'Riley, but O'Riley gave numerical superiority in the final third. And this has resulted in a dangerous chance for Manchester City. Here I want to take a moment and talk about the first goal. The first goal was a purely attacking transition. How Manchester City, they're very quick with the transitions and they try to do it as fast as they can. We see here O'Riley got out of pressure from Mo Salah. He was able to give it to Foden. Foden, then he gave it back to O'Riley. O'Riley to Doku. Doku to Gonzalez. Gonzalez, he played a long ball to Nunez. Yes, what an amazing quick transition. And Nunez crossed it to Haaland. Haaland was able to score it. What an amazing goal. That summarizes Pep Guardiola's strategy. Just defend well and try to implement a quick transition and counter-attack. Wow, 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 wow. What a Pep. What a strategy. We saw that in the second goal as well. When Manchester City recovered the ball and Nico Gonzalez with one pass to O'Riley. O'Riley who opened up on the left flanks. So who came up to him? Doku, the best player in the match. Then he was able to score an amazing goal. Here is a question. Where was Konate? Where was the pressure that was supposed to be applied to Doku? And that was one of Liverpool's problems in this game. O'Riley's role was tactically decisive, blending defensive intelligence with control progression and link-up play. And we saw that O'Riley, he carries the ball and go forward. This is when I mentioned in the previous episode. This guy reminds me of Mendes when he carries the ball and he cuts diagonally. This guy has a bright future and Pep Guardiola is utilizing him in a perfect way. Before diving more in our tactical breakdown, if you enjoy our content, please subscribe and give us a like button and leave your comment below. That would help us a lot to grow and bring more value to you. Before moving to the third point, I want to take you to the initial formation both teams started. Liverpool started their formation with 4-2-3-1. 1. And Manchester City started their formation with 4-3-3. And this is gonna take us to the third point. This formation helps Pep Guardiola during the build-up because it gives him the flexibility. As we could see that he builds up from the back with 3-2-4-1. I know that Nunez is not apparent on the picture, but he's there opening up on the right flank, same as O'Riley that we would see during the build-up. Nico Gonzalez drops in as a third defender, and Foden and Bernardo Silva, they play as a double pivot. And we see that O'Riley and Nunez, they're opening flanks wide. So this formation gives Manchester City the flexibility to build up. That was one of the ways that Pep Guardiola utilized this formation 4-3-3 to build up from the back. So it gave him the flexibility to switch it up. So we saw him another time switch it up to 2-2-4-2. As we could see in minute 1 and 29. We saw that he counted on Guardiola alongside with Diaz, and right in front of them you would see Nico Gonzalez alongside with Bernardo Silva. Right in front of them Cherki and Foden, and on the flanks you'd see Nunez on the right side and O'Riley opening up on the left flank. This gave Pep Guardiola more options to conquer the high mid press that Liverpool try to implement. We see that Doku tries to receive the ball between the lines. So Pep Guardiola had to implement these formations to overcome the aggressive high press that Arne Slot tried to implement from the first minute. For my Liverpool friends, I know I'm a little bit focusing more on Manchester City in today's game, but I promise you that there will be a video coming up regarding Liverpool and Arne Slot's tactics and the reasons behind his negative results in the past few weeks. So stay tuned and subscribe so you don't miss it out. So you'd see Nico Gonzalez applying man-to-man to Gravenberch. That's why Bradley, he tried to give the ball to Mo Salah. But Mo Salah in this game, he was actually marked man-to-man with O'Riley. This O'Riley is another story. I don't want to repeat the same thing. That O'Riley, I see him another Mendes. But one thing I've noticed with the high press that Pep Guardiola applies, he tries to force Liverpool to play on their right side, which is O'Reilly's side and Doku's side. Probably one of those reasons is Bradley is not great with the ball or with the passing, or maybe Guardiola was thinking to create overload on the left flank and get the ball as fast as he can and apply a quick transition on the same flanks, because his strength is O'Reilly and Doku on the left flank. Here's another example where Haaland forces the goalie to give it to Konate and Foden covers the passing lanes. You see that Pep Guardiola forces Liverpool to build up from the right side and create overloads on the right side of Liverpool. Let me know your answer in the comment. So Pep Guardiola played with a low block with 4-1-4-1. As we could see in minute 19, you see all the channels are blocked. There's no gaps between the players. And the only option that Liverpool had in this chance, right away after Robertson had the ball, Nunez went and applied the pressure on him. And another time, Pep Guardiola formed his low block with 4-4-2. And the good about the low block, we see that Haaland will be the first player who applies pressure on the person who holds the ball from Liverpool's team. When Liverpool was aggressive and trying to score their first goal in the beginning of the second half, Pep Guardiola's team, they were very well organized, and he structured his low block with 4-5-1. And the first person would defend, of course, again, is Haaland. And this is the first time I see that Manchester City, They were very well organized during the low block, not allowing any gaps between players. And even you see that Manchester's players covering the half spaces to not let any Liverpool's player in the half spaces. And takes us to the sixth point. The sixth point is Liverpool. Liverpool today, they weren't too bad, but to be honest, in certain phases of the game, especially during the build-up, as we saw that they will always try to build up from Bradley's side. So Konate always tries to give it to Bradley. I don't know what's the reason behind that. Either Pep Guardiola forced him to do so, and he did actually force them. But when the opportunity was available, like in minute 7:58, we saw that Robertson is open on the left flank, and Liverpool were building up from the back by Konate and Virgil van Dijk, as well as Mark Allister right in front of them. So instead of Konate playing a long ball to Robertson or to Van Dijk and Van Dijk to Robertson, but nobody gave it to Robertson. They gave it to Bradley. And that was one of the downside during the build-up from Liverpool's side. We saw the same thing happened as well in minute 14:55. You could see that Manchester City covered the passing lane to Van Dijk. They only allowed the keeper to give it to Konate. After Konate got the ball, he gave it again to Bradley. So that was obvious that Pep Guardiola was focusing on Bradley's side. He tried to force Liverpool's players to build up from the right side on Bradley. Liverpool's problems wasn't only during the build-up. They had a problem as well during the attacking transitions for Manchester City. They weren't able to organize themselves well during their attacking transitions. As we could see in the first goal, when Van Dijk playing as a left back and Robertson as a second center back, I don't know what they were doing. There was enough time to switch up between the players. In the same situation, when Robertson came back and played as a left back, he didn't apply pressure on Nunez. Nunez was able to send a cross to Erling Haaland. And another question here, Wirtz and Robertson, what were you doing? As well as Konate, you are tall as Haaland. Like, how come Haaland was able to take the ball? It's interesting how individual mistakes ruined Liverpool's organization. We saw the same thing happened in the second goal. There's a lot of space behind Bradley. Yes, Bradley was able to go back and implement pressure on O'Riley, but Doku was left alone. Nobody applied any pressure on him. He was able to have the ball and take his time and score an amazing goal. What a goal, what a goal. I think it's the goal of the week, in my opinion. Yes, Liverpool lost 3-0, but I don't think this is the worst game for Liverpool. But Manchester City and Pep Guardiola, they were extremely good. No, they were perfecto. So I think Liverpool played an okay game, but Manchester City dominated in every phase of the game. So a big applaud to Pep Guardiola, and congratulations to his 1000 game appearance in the Premier League. So at the end of the video, I want to thank you and ask you one question. Do you like Pep Guardiola's new philosophy? please leave it in the comment and give us a subscribe and a like if you like the video. And peace.